Perfect Blue will bring you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, I still couldn't breathe all the way through that one. And, of course, the intro is back because of the fact that I've gotten multiple emails and messages that the Giants' losing streak started when I stopped doing the intro. So evidently I was being blamed for the losing streak, so I'm going to take full responsibility for the losing streak because we know it's not Daniel Jones's fault. It's my fault. And I take full responsibility for that. Two topics I want to discuss this on this New Year's Day, and I want to wish everyone a happy and safe New Year. May 2021 be better than 2020. But let's get into the New York Giants because, you know, we have to talk about this playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm calling it a playoff game because it's got the playoff game feel. Because whoever wins goes to the playoffs if Washington loses. So, I mean, it's a moot point if Washington wins and we lose. I mean, it's not going to do anything for us. But we have to treat this as our playoff game, as a January playoff game for the New York Giants. One thing I wanted to say is the fact that this is not going to be an easy game because this is not the same team we played earlier on in the season. The Cowboys right now are 6-10 and are riding a winning streak. Andy Dalton has turned the corner. He's 4-4 as the starter. He's thrown for 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions after that terrible start that he had. I mean, they have an offense. They are scoring points in bunches. And the only issue they have right now is their defense is also giving up points in bunches. I do have some fear with their receiving core. I mean, if you take a look, Amari Cooper's got over 1,000 yards this season. CeeDee Lamb, I actually really like CeeDee Lamb coming out of college. I did a video just before the draft about him, Andrew Thomas, and I can't remember the other player, that I thought the Giants should, if he was available, try to go after Lamb because I thought he would be a complementary weapon for Daniel Jones and put along the other side of Darius Slayton. And he has proven his worth with 69 catches for 892 yards and 5 touchdowns. But you know what? Like I said, then you always have Ezekiel Elliott. I know he's nursing in a sore hamstring a little bit, but he's having kind of an off season with only 937 yards. He missed a game he missed one start, and the fact that, like I said, he's got a hamstring issue, but we have to see kind of how that's going to play out. But this is just one of the and we're going to have some nasty weather. Looks like for Sunday as well. That could possibly change. Looks like there will be a lot of rain in the forecast. I don't think that's going to slow down the Cowboys any, and the only problem is I don't know if that's going to slow down the Giants' offense because the Giants' offense has been stuck in neutral all year. So the question is going to be, can the Giants' defense hold the Cowboys to a low point total that will allow us to turn around and potentially maybe score a couple points of our own on the offensive side and take this game? It's going to be a tough situation for the Giants. It really is. Like I said, even if the defense holds the Cowboys to 14 points, I'm not even sure with a healthy Daniel Jones or even Colt McCoy that we can score 10 points. And I see that Joe Judge is kind of pissed at Daniel Jones for coming out and saying that he can't run. And I thought that too. I thought that was kind of a stupid statement to come out with the press saying, well, you know what, I'm not really at full strength, and I'm going to be a pocket passer and not really run. Do you really want to put that information out there for the other team to hear? I mean, they don't know. I mean, come on, Daniel, you got to think about that for a minute. But again, like I said, it's not Daniel's fault. It never is. It was the press department of the New York Giants that made Daniel Jones say that because we know nothing's ever his fault. But can the Giants score enough points? I think that's going to be the key factor. And, of course, someone's going to say, well, Tim, of course scoring points is a key factor because that's the way you win games. But the way our offense is stuck in neutral, if we need to at least score 17 points this game because I think the Giants, if they play up to their potential on defense, can hold this team to 14 points. And that's going to be a tall order considering the amount of points that they have scored in the last 4 games. I mean, they've scored 37, last 3 games, they scored 37, 41, and 30. Now, I know they, scored these points against the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Eagles, but, and I do believe the Giants have a better defense than those teams combined, but they've also scored 37 points against the Giants going back to October, 38 against the Browns, 31 against the Seahawks, 40 against the Falcons, 31 against the Vikings. I know people are going to say, well, those earlier games were with Dak. They're playing better with Andy Dalton right now. So the key is going to be limit this team to 10 points. That's going to have to be the key factor. That's what we're going to have to do. If we cannot limit them to 10 points, we are not going to win the game. We are going to need to, especially with this weather, we are going to need to establish the run. We are going to need to have Alfred Morris and Wayne Gallman run the ball at least 30 times between the two of them. Or, it doesn't have to, we got Elijah Penny, but Elijah Penny, I think he's out, or he was out of practice the last couple days. But that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to control the clock, keep their offense off the field as much as possible, and have some prolonged drives, and have Daniel work going off to his checkdowns. And that's going to be our key. I think those are going to be our key factors to trying to win this game. Now, I think that Washington is going to have an uphill battle with the Eagles. And I don't know, I think that I think that Alex Smith is going to have his hands full. But I think they have the opportunity. But the problem with Philadelphia is you never know what you're going to get with Philadelphia. You never know which team is going to show up. I had no idea that they were going to roll over and die against the Cowboys on the 27th of December and score only 17 points. I didn't see that one coming. I think they're going to be playing more for pride against Washington. I don't think they're going to be doing it to try to get the Giants into the playoffs. But I think it's going to be more of a pride thing for Philadelphia right now. So we need that win from Philly. And it's like I said, it's all a moot point, and we just need that Philly win. One other thing I want to talk about briefly is Dave Gettleman. I see a lot of articles and a lot of things on the Twitter sphere that this game will be deciding Dave Gettleman's future with the New York Giants. That's some of the dumbest things I've ever heard. If the Giants finish 6-10 or 5-11 and make, let's just say out of curiosity, let's just say they finish 6-10 and miss the playoffs. Does that mean they are going to fire Dave Gettleman if he finishes? If he finishes 6-10 and misses the playoff? So what if he finishes 6-10, Washington loses, and they make the playoffs? You're going to keep him? No, it's already been preordained what they're probably going to do. Well, they may not have a final decision on what they want to do with Dave Gettleman, but the final game of the season here on the 3rd is going to have nothing to do to sway the Giant organization and Giant ownership what they're going to do with Dave Gettleman. It's not going to be factor in at all. And for people to sit there and go, well, it's going to be a big factor. No, it's not going to be factor. And they kind of already have an idea what they want to do with Gettleman. They're going to take a look at his drafts, take a look at his free agents, take a look at it. And here's the problem with firing Dave Gettleman. I don't care if they fire Dave Gettleman. I think it'll set the franchise back a little bit because of the fact you're going to have to find a general manager is going to come in and take on Joe Judge and Daniel Jones. And what general manager wants to come in with a coach and a quarterback they didn't choose? You're going to get a guy that's going to be, you're going to get a guy that's going to be probably a first-time general manager because anyone that's seasoned is not going to look at this and go, oh, you know what? I want to go to a team where I can't pick the head coach or the starting quarterback. So, it's just one of those things that if you're going to get rid of Gettleman, that's fine, but make sure you have a plan in place. And then the other issue is if the Giant organization is so in love and enamored with Daniel Jones and Joe Judge, the guy that brought those two guys in was Dave Gettleman. So then why would you turn around and get rid of the general manager when he brought in your starting quarterback and your head coach? You're going to have to go back and look at his drafting has not been well. His first 2 drafts have been okay at best. We have no idea what this 3rd draft is turned out to be. He hit on his free agents, which is great. But to think that this game holds any significance to Dave Gettleman's career, no, it doesn't. It doesn't hold any significance for the Giants. The Giants are going to sit down as an organization and say, okay, can we win with Dave Gettleman? Has his moves created enough opportunity for us to move forward? And that's what they're going to take a look at, not the final score on Sunday. And that's why I said I think it's ridiculous for people to even consider that to be an option of what the Giants are going to look at. We'll probably know within the week after the game. If we don't hear anything after the last week, first week going into after the game, they're probably keeping him. So they'll probably get rid of him quick if they have to. But again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you could subscribe, if you could ring that bell, you know what that means? That'd be awesome.